This episode is for Kenny Tran.
Yes.
Nice. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode. We interviewed Kenny Tran.
We did. We interviewed him real good.
Did real good. We interviewed real good.
This is, I would say, more adult content than not, but it's a vaguely adult content.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's a little like spicy, but not really.
It's like PG-13 and C-17, somewhere around there.
Isn't NC-17 like there's sex on the screen?
Boobs.
Oh, boobs.
I have no idea. No,
Boobs.
I have no idea. Oh, I have no idea. Or you should know that. You're more in that business.
I don't know anything. I've never known anything in my entire life. No,
Never once.
It was a fun episode. Do you want to just like dive into it?
Yeah, I would love to dive into it.
Let's go.
I have no idea. But looks scary. Isn't it Miranda Cosgrove? It was fun?
Yeah. I thought it was fun.
I know the gay community is on fire about Megan. I don't know what it is.
Oh, really?
But the gay community has claimed Megan.
That's
I don't
fair.
know. I don't know if there's representation of gay culture in Megan or if it's at the
just
point
campy.
where. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is campy, and like there's so much satire. The movie opens with a fake commercial for another toy that's sort of like a Furby-esque toy, and it's hysterical. Like, I was cracking up in the first 90 seconds of this like fake commercial because
interesting.
I didn't expect it to be as campy as it was, and then went into it and I was like, this movie like is 4 out of 5 stars for me.
Interesting.
And
yeah, maybe I'll give it a go. The doll, scary stuff though.
It's less scary than it is suspenseful in a lot of ways.
It's more thriller than it is like thriller suspense.
Okay, love a good thriller.
Yeah, me too. That's why I was like, oh, I could go see this one.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I went and saw that one. Last weekend, I think. So it's fresh.
It's fresh or certified fresh?
Oh,
like...
just fresh in my mind.
Okay.
I can't certify anything fresh. I don't have the capabilities legally.
A Chicago thing.
Yeah.
Ruined my life, dog. That's why I'm here, I'm hoping, actually. Thanks for having me on the thing.
The
podcast. Yeah.
It's our pleasure, truly.
Yeah. Any guest is a great guest for us.
Wow. Okay, Mother Teresa. That's nice to know. It's all like one,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
All one big happy family.
You're equal to all the other guests. Don't get a big head.
No guesses.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how this goes, and then I'll rate you higher. As for now, we're all equal.
We all start neutral. Yeah,
that's
fair.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put you in the red.
Oh, okay. I got Do Not Disturb on. So we're
there we go.
Uninterrupted. No interruptions as I ruin my own life. I'd like to do this just me and you two. Yeah.
Love it.
Ruin it in peace.
Does your Do Not Disturb let your mom call still?
No.
Yeah, mine neither. My Do Not Disturb doesn't, but I have like a personal mode, and that one allows certain people to call and stuff. But I was just wondering.
Oh, you went into the settings, like you customized.
Oh yeah,
it.
I did. That was the one little customization I did on the Do Not Disturb, because then then other people don't bother you. You know.
Yeah. Have you ever hit the notify anyway button?
Yes.
I'm too scared. I respect too many boundaries in that situation.
I don't respect boundaries. No.
No.
I have done it only because Ben, working night shift, does not wake up, and he'll put his phone on Do Not Disturb when he sleeps. And if I'm not home and he snoozes his alarm and then turns it off or whatever, there have been times where I've literally had to drive home to barely wake him up in time so he can go to work. It's not often,
Oh,
but
wow.
it has happened. So the feature of like allowing a person to bypass do not disturb is beneficial in my home.
Isn't there also like oh yeah, block everyone from calling, but then if someone calls like 5 times, then you can play the noise.
Honestly, probably. Yeah. It
Yeah.
should.
Yeah. Honestly, the notify anyway is to me a Hannah, what happened?
My boyfriend's talking to the dog about it smelling like shit, and I'm like, you can't. I'm like, can you shut the door? And I was trying to communicate. I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
Uh, the notify anyway button on the do not disturb thing is honestly a single man's greatest fear. My finger is one tap away from absolutely ruining everything I've ever worked on. One notify anyway message and it's like you're bonkers. Stay away
Yeah,
from me. Do not notify me anyway, you know? But
that's
then
what I'm scared about.
but the do not disturb, the showing people the do not disturb is kind of like I think a low level way to let people know like, ooh, I'm interested. Because it's like if
Ooh,
they're on do not disturb and then you send them text, you're like, oh, they're probably asleep or something. And then you get a little text back and you're like, oh, text me through your
interesting.
do not disturb,
I never thought of it that way. That's a good call.
That is a
Thank
good
you.
call. I
You
haven't
got to
been
be really
single.
single and yeah, really single and really desperate to come up with these. So
They didn't
it's
have
nice to
that
know y'all are
feature
doing well. Yeah.
last
I
time
think
I
just
was
smart.
single. All the updates that have come out in life since I've been single. Raya, do not disturb, notify
Raya,
anyway.
Down Disturb. Uh,
What's Raya?
Raya's like the one that famous people and I'll
Dating app.
go on. Yeah.
Oh,
So like Demi Lovato in Demi Lovato's little documentary about herself, and she's like, I'm on the dating apps. She's not on Tinder, She's not on Bumble.
oh,
She's on
that makes more
Raya
sense.
and Plenty of Fish
Mm-hmm.
and Locks
Sure.
Club. These are the things she's on.
Wow,
She's not on Locks
I
Club.
love this.
Or Plenty of Fish.
No, I loved it. I think maybe.
I applied for Locks Club actually, LOX Club, because it's a Jewish
Yeah.
app, and I got in, but I never.
But
That's so, yeah,
that's
I was
like,
like, they must have run out of Jewish people, I guess. Like,
I
did they
guess.
ask you if you're Jewish in the application?
yeah, it's because it's an app for like
Right.
Jewish. It's like if you applied for, I assume, if you applied for Christian Mingle, that
Yeah.
it would ask you if you were Christian.
Did you say you were Jewish or did you say no?
No, I said no. I wasn't Jewish. I don't want to get because the Jewish culture runs deep.
Truly.
I don't know enough to really, I feel like the entire second and a half of the year is a holiday.
It is.
And I'm really
Yeah.
not up to speed with everything,
Absolutely.
There are a lot of things I think I could fake being, but Jewish is probably not one of those things.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
That's valid.
I completely agree.
Speaking of places you're not supposed to be, I recently signed up for a workshop for people. It's like creatives trying to break in the industry, yada yada, whatever. And I saw it, and I wasn't thinking. I just like signed up. It was a free workshop. It pops up with my invitation afterwards, and it was like, "This is an emerging thing for people of color." And I went, "What have I done?
Oh no!
What have I done?"
Whoopsies.
And so
That's
I
a
will
big
not
no.
be attending that workshop. I can't even, I will not attend. I will not log in.
I will
Luckily,
not.
there's
You
no,
blocked
like,
them. You blocked everyone involved.
Yeah. Well, and I was excited because I should have known. Something should have rung in my head because it's like the guest speaker or whatever is like Spike Lee, and there were like a bunch of people that like the credits they had listed were like very diverse program. It just like,
You saw the list. It was like Spike Lee, Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, and
I
you
was
were like,
this
"Holy
is for
shit,
me.
this!"
This is geared right towards me.
God,
That's so funny.
I'm a menace. Yeah, so I hope everyone at that workshop has a great time. Luckily that it's not like a limited capacity thing. It's
Oh,
virtual, whatever. So otherwise I would
right.
be
You took a spot out of 50 or something.
correct. I would be like whatever.
No.
I forget who that was a few years ago had a virtual. It was like Nicki Minaj or someone had a web thing that a bunch of white creators ended up bombard. It was a mess.
Yeah.
I guess this is a podcast in a lot of senses. So, Kenny, would you like to tell the people? Kenny's not white.
Oh,
Sure.
no. So everything we've talked about that I have had an opinion on, I do not identify. I am not Jewish. I am not white. I'm not Spike Lee. So, I don't know. Maybe this will be
Clarifying
the
that.
end of me. Yeah.
We will just bleep every time you say white or
Just bleep out everything.
which we call Spike Lee. Yeah.
Just keep the word Lee in, but take the word Spike out.
Yeah.
Keep it ambiguous for me.
Perfect.
Keep the word Lee in because the people can't see I'm Asian. I'm Vietnamese.
So
Give the people a quick synopsis of who you are, where you're from, your life.
I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I used to lie about it. I used to tell people I was from Southern California
Sure.
because I was born in SoCal and I felt cooler. So I used to say I was from Southern California, but I've been meditating a lot and I've decided I'm going to be from Kansas City. So
Nice.
I'm from Kansas
Good for
City.
you.
Better barbecue.
Nice.
Thank you.
We love growth.
Thank you. It helps. The football team's been doing well, so there's something to be proud of.
Absolutely.
There you go.
But from Kansas City, Maddie and I, or Madeline, oh God, I
It
don't
doesn't
want to.
matter.
Who's to
I don't
say?
know. How do the people know you?
Hey,
Madeline.
bitch.
Oh my God, I went to. Okay, not to get so off topic, but
Let's do it.
I went to a place. I was just at a bachelorette party. It was me and 9 women,
Love it.
and
Love
we were in South Beach, Miami, and we went to this place called Bacon Bitch. And we were walking. It was like a Saturday morning. We were walking. I was leading the way a bit. I turn back. I look at the 9 women, and I go, "We have a reservation, right?" To which they respond, "No." And I was like, 10 people should be fine. So I walk up to the front. I go, "Hey, do you guys have space for?" And then this lady goes, "Hey, bitch." And I was like, like 10? Can you do 10 people? And she was like, "Of course, bitch." And I was like, "Okay." So this conversation goes on. And then she goes, "Well, go get a drink at the bar, bitch. It's over there." And I was like, "Okay." And then I go over to the bar. There's a very attractive lady who's the bartender.
Mhm.
I'm right there waiting for my little drink. And then she came over, she was like, "What do you have to drink, bitch?" And I was like, yeah, I'll have a runaway with me. Like, that sounds really good. So I got that. And then she comes over, she slides the drink in front of me, and then she goes, "Something for you to sip on, bitch." And I was like, what is happening? So I looked at her, and I was like, can I call you bitch? She was like, "Of course, bitch." And I was like, "Okay, bitch." So I finally, but anyway, so that's the last time
I
someone called
love
me bitch.
permission.
Yeah, it really took me off guard. I wasn't sure, if I was allowed,
Yeah.
That's fair.
Right.
but she was good with it. So
We love that's like Ed DeBevick's style, like commitment of just the whole staff being like, everyone is bitch.
I mean, it was quite the place. The restaurant only does brunch. They
Of course.
have bottle service. Like they bring out bottles of champagne and they do like the whole thing.
Yep.
They got shot o'clock. They came out twice, gave shots to everybody.
Oh my God.
I love this place,
So
actually.
yeah,
That's
moral of the
amazing.
story: if you're ever in Miami, go to Bacon
Yeah.
Bitch.
Bacon bitch. You can't miss it. It's bacon and it's bitch,
You'll see it.
Anyway. Yeah, I know Maddie from Illinois.
Mhm.
I just met Hannah today.
Yes.
She seems very funny. She's saying
Don't set
no.
it up. Don't set it up that high.
Don't
We like
set it
low
up.
expectations.
Right. She looks boring as
Yes.
neutral. We all start
There
off neutral here. Just to
That's
let
what I'm
everyone know,
saying.
out of 5 here.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, that's where I'm from. I'm from Kansas City. I met Maddie in Illinois. We were both in school, different schools, but in school for musical theater.
Nice.
I was just talking about you today, actually, because I was talking about the pizza tour we did in New York City.
Yeah.
But when Maddie and I were in New York City, we did a really poorly planned pizza tour in which I got full in like 5 seconds. And then I was like, we have a lot of places to go. I'm really full.
Yes.
Oh man.
We did.
We did.
We both did. It was Kenny. It was one of the first times Ben had been to New York. Well, he probably had been there like once or twice prior, but he wanted to do it. And I was like, listen, Kenny and I are going to do this. You do this so he met Ben, and, we went all over the city trying pizza. But yeah, after like the first place, we were like, oh, this is great. This is great. We got to the second place and we all were like, ooh, okay.
At that point, we were like, maybe we should have split the slice.
And then we got the idea of like, oh, we should be splitting these slices.
Yeah, because we were literally like, let's get like a PGs, and then we'll just like, every place we'll get a slice. And we were not like exercising. We were not biking any place. We were like full on train everywhere. We're not burning anything. But anyway, I brought it up because someone brought up Polly G's. They're like, oh, it's a great date spot.
Yeah.
It's like a really cool place. And I was like, I love the pizza there, you know?
What were the 5 places you went? Did you say 5?
There's a place called Best Pizza, which I didn't think, this is going to be shocking, but they were not the best pizza.
No. Oh, wow.
We went to Polly G's. We went to, everybody mind you, this was like 4 to 5 years ago. Polly G's is really the only one I remember, if I'm being honest.
Good, as it should be. It is the best slice. And I'm not just saying that because he employed me at one point.
There you go.
Did.
Yeah.
Let me draw a picture for the listeners. You got this huge slice of pizza. It's got great cheese, fried bottom, so it's a little, it's not going to fall apart. And you ever lift a slice up and then everything just kind of like limp dicks? No, this pizza was not a limp dicker. Okay,
good.
It was sturdy. The cheese on top, but it was heavy cheese, so it was a strong pizza. Then they got the little spicy pepperoni cups that are doing the little the fold up, and then someone like takes a little honey and they're like, and they pour it on. They get eye contact with you, and they're just like, this honey on top. Oh, it's delicious.
So good.
That sounds so good.
The best.
I could have used more adjectives, but I was caught up in the pizza,
Listen, I think those were more than enough, and I think the crust description is the key because, to be honest, a floppy slice is awful. You got to use 2 hands sometimes. It's not good.
Thank you. And we while we support the 2-hander, who's to say anything's wrong with using 1 hand for things?
Right. Of course.
The pizza, also, is this what is this podcast rated? I'm sorry if
adult content.
Okay. Adult content. Is this like whenever the rating has like brief nudity and it's like sometimes a nipple, but usually like a quick flash of the penis, and you're like, I didn't want that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like season 1 Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Like anything.
Season 1 Game of Thrones.
Anything goes.
Anything. Yeah. The worst nudity is when it says brief nudity, and you're like, oh, we're getting a little kinky, and it's like scientific nudity, and you're like, not the science book.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. Why am I tuning in?
Like anyway, in that second episode of Last of Us, in which there was nudity.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yep, absolutely.
I was like,
oh my god.
It said brief nudity. I was like, look, I've played the games, but if we're getting a little kinky up in here, it is what it is. And then it's very scientific, and I was like, that actually is probably, that makes a lot more sense.
Now I'm understanding.
I'm with you now. Yeah.
I was just gonna ask you, The Last of Us. So you've seen it. Did you see last night's episode? No,
I did not. So
okay.
No spoilers because I played the games, so I know, what happens in a sense, unless they're gonna throw us. But then I watched the first 2 episodes, and then I contacted my best friend Cadence,
Mm-hmm.
who loves zombies as well. And I was like, have you heard of the show? Have you seen it? She said no. So I went over to her place Thursday or Friday and then watched the first two again. I still cried. I cry every time. And then I have to wait for her for this next episode. So tomorrow we are watching
I will tell
The Last
you,
of
I
Us
don't know
2.
if you've seen spoilers from episode 3, but episode 3 diverges from game plotline.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Not in a bad way. Ben, who has also played the games and like considers it the best of what he was very happy with what they did.
Okay, great. Well, I'm very excited. I've seen some things about how it might be very sad.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
very good so far. Big fan.
No, I love it. Pedro Pascal is really killing it. I have never hated anything he's been in. I've loved everything he's been in actually, and he's the perfect Joel.
Yeah.
I used to hate kids in shows. I'm trying to work on myself here. It all started with War of the Worlds, and I think Dakota Fanning, and I was literally like, "Shut the fuck up! There are aliens here, girl." And I was like, "Why is this child screaming?"
This is so important to say. This is not a Dakota Fanning hate podcast. However, I really have strong feelings about her. In a not a positive way. Just from being a child actor. Like all of the younger ones she's in, I'm like, this poor girl was in everything too.
She was the only actress.
Right. So it's that and Abigail Breslin.
Yes.
Whoa.
You know what? God bless both of them. You know what I mean? They carried childhood movies on their back. However, that's all I have to say.
It's like they're like the Molly Ringwalds of children.
Yes. That's exactly, yes.
But that's not where my hate of children in movies started.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
I pretty much don't like children in any disaster movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it is
Yeah.
probably the most effective birth control I've ever witnessed. Is watching, like, The Day After Tomorrow, seeing the little child, like, have a foot fall through the ice. And I'm like, you're weak. Get it together. There's an apocalypse happening.
Yep.
So this is a good question for you, Kitty. We've debated this in private, but we're gonna bring it to the public.
Oh.
Have you seen? Wait, what's the movie called?
Knock at the
Knock
Cabin.
at the Cabin. The preview. It's
I've seen the previews, yeah.
Which don't make any sense and it's very confusing.
Which family member would you off?
I would off the child.
Thank you! Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you.
that's been our
Yes.
consensus.
It's the only one that doesn't feel like a hate crime. So I would off the child.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just like, you can make another. I mean, they can't, but you could just get
Well,
another in that situation.
You can just get another.
You just get another.
Exactly. I'm what some might call an anti, you know?
Yes.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm rethinking. I kind of change my answer depending on how cute the date I'm on is. So
I think that is
that's
how,
the way to do it.
Yeah, that's normal.
Listen, hand to God, I always say, I can't believe I was born heterosexual. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It's so not a choice. I cannot stress this enough.
I feel you on that. And I say this all the time. First, I'm like, if I liked men in New York City, I would never be bored. I would never be alone in New York City.
Right.
I would, and I already have, and I'm like, I have a foothold in the community. I've got friends. They could introduce me to people I know, and they're doing way better. All my friends who are in the gay community, way better at introducing me to people that I have no sexual interest in than any of my straight friends are, and introducing me to people that we might actually have a thing.
Yeah.
God, I love that. Friends are the best, right? They try their best.
They do their best. If you could describe the dating scene in New York City in one word, what would it be? I guess it could be one phrase if it needs.
Um, I, I'm gonna say motivational.
Okay.
I'd say
Okay, that's good.
my first answer is, uh,
Yeah.
and my second answer
Sure.
is motivational. You know,
That's great.
Mhm.
it's like you want to work on yourself. I've gone through a lot of dating iterations. We don't have to talk all about this, but I've gone through a lot of dating iterations of like who I remember I went on my sister
You want on a date with your sister?
got no, but I know it
Okay.
would be terrible if we did. And um she was she's turned me on to like phone screens essentially, like FaceTiming people before the first
Yeah.
date.
Mhm.
And so I did that. I had a phone call with a gal, and then at the end I was like, well, I quite enjoyed this phone call. I was like, I'd love to, meet you in person, take you out. She was like, yeah, this was interesting. And I was like, I don't know, that seems weird. What do you mean by
Mm-hmm.
interesting? She was like, well, it was just a little serious, We talked about like politics, religion, family, all these
Yeah.
things. And that was 2022, late, late 2022, like, or late December. And then that's when I made my New Year's resolutions and I wrote my little things down and I was like, fun Kenny only. Bad bitch energy. I
Yes.
stand by this. The delusional era,
Yes.
when I was home for Christmas, I was watching Too Hot to Handle. I
Yep.
was like, these people are full blown delusional.
Yes.
Yes. Welcome to the podcast. We are delusional. That's why
That's
we're
why we're
here.
here.
And I love that. So I'm honored to, just three delusional people telling each other we're not delusional.
Bingo.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, no, I love that. And that's true. It's hard. You got to go, yeah, you got to go through your phases where it's like it's so serious and then sometimes it's just really fun and sometimes you're like not even thinking about dating and sometimes it's like you're thinking about dating but you can't find dates and it's just like the
Mhm.
cycle of
Yeah,
It never, yeah.
you always think you have the answer.
yeah.
When you learn something new, you're like, oh yeah, this is the key that's gonna unlock it all.
Mhm.
And I even remember like college, like going through the heartbreak and being like, I know the answer. Then after college, and then going through all these situations, and the last one before Fun Kenny was, oh yeah, like in college and after college, it was all about like these fast and furious relationships. You live together, you spend all day
Yep.
together, theater, and you fall in love in like 5 seconds, and you kind of stay that way.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm gonna stop that. I was like, love is a slow burn, and like you grow to love people and stuff. And then I started going on these boring ass dates with some boring ass people. Sorry if some of these previous people are listening. If you're
Mhm.
listening and we recently went on a date, it's probably not about you.
Okay.
But these boring ass dates.
Mhm.
And it was just because what I was putting out there, was that. And then I
Oh,
realized like, oh, on a base level, I should look for someone that excites me, that I have fun
yeah.
with. And then I think from there, I can build, see, I'm doing the thing right here. I'm right here going like, I've unlocked it. I realized
You have.
my sister came to New York City. She was newly single,
Mhm.
and we went to a club. And bless her soul, we were sitting on the train the next day, and she was like, "I met a guy, and we had this amazing dance chemistry. And my ex and I never had dance chemistry. Maybe that's what I should be looking for." And I couldn't stop laughing because I was like, "Tomorrow, you're gonna just tell me it's something else. Like it's so funny,
Right.
but go with the dance chemistry. Really go down that path for a
I
little bit."
love that. I love that. That's so funny.
The funniest part is they weren't really, they weren't like dirty dancing up in
No,
there. It was like,
Right. Right.
they're just
it
vibing.
was like
They're
house
just
music.
vibing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. A little eye contact, a little,
God,
that
A little
dance
eye
chemistry. It
contact.
just,
that dance chemistry. Oh my God. Okay, so we've established you live in New York City. What is your favorite hidden gem in New York?
oh, you guys are turning on these are hard questions. I ran into a man from London
Mhm.
at the airport who I helped him get to his niece in Brooklyn. And he was asking me these questions, and I was like, I should think about these. Maybe they'll come up someday.
Huh?
So that has been on the back burner, but I should have put more stock into his
You can
questions.
just tell
I
us
think.
some favorite things you like about the city too.
No, I'll go hidden gems. I
Oh.
love my favorite hidden gems. Honestly, have to do with, I think, mostly Chinatown. And a lot of people don't consider Chinatown to be that great because Flushing, Queens exists,
Right.
and that's the real Chinatown. But I think there's maybe not everyone's willing to explore New York City in a way that some other people are, and I think that's quite a shame. So in Chinatown, there's just very affordable eats. And for example, I went down to Chinatown for Lunar New Year. There's a place I'd marked on my map. It's called Fried Dumpling. And if you need to know anything about me, it's that I love a place that's named after exactly what it does.
Serves? Like Bacon Bitch.
Exactly. Yep.
Pizza, fried dumpling, Red Lobster, Waffle House. I mean, it is, although I think Waffle House should be renamed Hash Brown House, but alas. So yeah, there's this place called Fried Dumpling. There's a huge line. We waited, we got in. They had two things on the menu: fried dumplings, fried pork bun. I was like, "Can I have a fried pork bun?" They said, "We don't have any today." I was like, "Well, that seems in line with the name of the store."
Right.
So I got the fried. It was great, and it was like $5 for like 10 or 12 dumplings.
Wow.
And absolutely amazing. So Fried Dumpling, it's off of Mulberry near Wohop, like 17 in Wohop next door. So right on that street in Mulberry, in a little corner alley next to, oh, I remember, it was called the Transfiguration Church because someone made a Harry Potter joke. So it's right next to that. Yeah, that's my favorite. And then I love, this isn't very low key. It's not like a hidden gem, but it's one of my favorite bars. It's called Apothec. I hope it's called Apothec. I used to call it Apotheke, and then someone told me it was called Apothec. It's in Chinatown on Pell Street next to Peachy's, which is a pretty famous place. Ronnie Chang did his stand-up special there. And then, but next door, it's this kind of like dimly lit cocktail apothecary bar. Cocktails are like $25 each.
Of course. There we go.
Later at night, there's like a DJ and stuff, but it's very cool. Great vibes. I'm in love with the waitress. Her name, it's been a while, but her name might be Ellen or Ellie. And anyway, I hope she's listening because I'm too chicken to approach her in real life. So, the most overrated part. I think honestly, I think the club scene is overrated.
Yeah.
Here. I haven't been to like every club in New York City, but I don't know. I've been to clubs in Thailand. I've been to clubs here. I've been to clubs in Miami and California, and I think I can say like sometimes the New York club scene is like maybe New York in general is a little too, feels like uppity to me. And then Miami is absolutely incredible. It feels, it's still uppity in a sense of like money, but that's kind of clubbing. People are just, it's like kind of dirty. It's like everyone's twerking, everyone's doing this stuff, everyone's going crazy. And then Thailand's just fun because everyone's just traveling there,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say probably like the club scene or the dance scene, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of stress sometimes, and I have not been impressed with when my friends are like, "Ooh, we gotta go here. The music is great," and I show up and I'm like, "This is okay, I guess." And nobody's dancing. Everyone's kind of like standing. They love to do this thing. It's my least favorite thing. They do like the people can't see, but I'll give you a visual. Okay. Imagine I'm a guy. Well, you don't have to, I am a guy, and there is a woman in front of me right here, and we are together. We are grinding, but it's not like hot grinding or anything. It's like swaying,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. But imagine it's a slow sway, and then the music is going like dun 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 dun
Oh,
dun dun dun, and then it goes boom, 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 and this is still happening.
no.
No,
This is
It's
bad.
it's very uncomfortable.
I hate that.
Yeah, but
So
anyway,
avoid.
so I'd say the club situation. I love the food in New York City, but there's no Mexican food.
Yes.
There's no I would say the volume of good Mexican food is not there. The volume of good Vietnamese food is not here, but I think that's a demographic thing.
Mm,
You know, there's great Cuban food here. There's great Puerto Rican
Oh,
food here.
yes.
There's great Chinese food, Korean food. It's just like they're very, we're lacking Mexican food, Vietnamese food specifically.
Yeah.
I will say Filipino food also lacking a bit there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, isn't that your favorite food type, Mexican?
Yes. Yes, Mexican food is my favorite food, and it's hard when you're in New York because it's like, it's not. It's like Puerto Rican or Colombian or Dominican. It's like, it's
Yeah,
just slightly different than.
but you're in a great place for it now.
Yes, now I am.
Obviously,
There's tacos on every
I
corner.
gotta send you. There's like this taco truck that is like very well known. My cousin lives in like Little Tokyo,
Mm-hmm.
and anyway, she always posts. She loves food, so I have to send you this taco truck that
Yeah.
she's raving about. And I looked it up on Google Maps. It's like literally has a spot on Google Maps and has like a ton of reviews.
Wild.
And it's like a little push food cart.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, it's
Oh,
wild how quickly they gain like traction if they are good. Because, like, the second you see people stopping to eat at any of the like pop ups or push carts or like the more trailer ones, if you see the line, you know it's gonna be good.
yeah, right.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
The line really lets you know. Although I will say like I have noticed in New York City like some of the most renowned restaurants, which happen to be the most famous
mm-hmm.
or expensive ones, don't have like a ton of reviews. So like there's like not many people going there, but apparently they are very good. I don't know. So
Yeah.
Mm,
Those aren't the type of people leaving Yelp reviews, I guess. The people going there.
not just
I know,
me. I
just
leave Yelp
me.
reviews. I had this meal. I This is a very recent thing, but I started like kind of splurging on meals, and
Yeah.
I paid for this meal at this restaurant called Atomix, and it's this like 2 Michelin star Korean restaurant in New York City, and it was like I don't know like three maybe $400 a person, and it was great. I don't know if at the end if I was really enjoying the food or if I was just blasted because there was an alcohol pairing with it,
Yeah.
absolutely.
but at the end I was kind of like, was this worth
Was
was
this
it
Yeah.
actually
worth
worth?
like
Yeah.
yeah, like these like expensive. I think sushi is a great way to think about it because sushi is always expensive. And then these omakase places, which are on the rage everywhere. And I took my sister as a gift, and that again was like a $300 to $400 per person situation. And
Man.
at the end, I was like, "Well, how'd you like that?" And she was like, eh. And I was like, "All right, we're not eating out anymore. We're going like empanada mama and like all the time, which I'm actually very happy. I'm fine with. Like I love empanada
Me
mama,
too.
so
I also love Empanada Mama. I miss that.
for the listeners, empanada mama is this like chain. I don't want to say it's only in New York City because I don't know, but it's a chain that I discovered in New York
Yeah.
City. I don't know. They have margaritas there. I took a date there. We had a great time.
Yeah.
Empanada mama.
So good. Get a bunch of different
Yeah.
kinds.
Yeah, the Romeo and Juliet. People think I'm a menace because I love the pizza empanada, and
No.
they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the pizza empanada. You gotta try it. You gotta try it."
Yeah,
Or
it sounds good.
Hannah, you don't have to be nice.
No, I love pizza anything. I'll eat pizza all day.
It's true.
I love that. I
Yeah.
I like that.
Hmm.
I like that. I thought at one point about you might have to cut this out of the podcast, or else if everyone wants to sign an NDA. But I thought about starting a business where you only serve cold pizza, and it's
I
like
could
there's
not.
no warm pizza.
I could not be a part of that. But
Oh.
I support you in your endeavor.
Listen, my sister and boyfriend would be there every day.
So would Ben.
Every day. Yeah.
Ooh.
You have a niche for sure.
It's just not us.
We have a niche. Yeah. Okay, let me draw you into another business plan. See if y'all want to invest.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So you are familiar with the concept of pants.
Familiar.
Yes.
Yes, and you are familiar with the concept of farts.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this goes back. I'll tell a short story. When I was in college, I had no idea what a gravity bong was. I didn't smoke much weed. I hung out with this girl, and she was smoking in the dorm, and she blew out into what was like one of those empty paper towel roll cardboard things.
Sure.
And
Dryer
she had
sheets?
rubber band, a dryer sheet
Yeah.
around it. And she blew out, and then it smelled like a dryer sheet on the other end. Boxers. But in the booty hole area is a replaceable dryer sheet slot.
Amazing.
When farts go through, they smell fresh.
God, that's nice.
Listen.
I know someone who could use it.
We know lots of people that could use it. My dog could use it lately.
Yes. If we could make one for dogs,
Dog
that
pants
would
as
be
well.
yeah.
Ooh, that's a market I had not considered.
But
We're here for it.
I think it's great. You have my money.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
I'll buy it.
All right, good. Well, yeah, anybody who's interested, hit me up after the podcast, and we'll get your money to where it needs to be.
Yeah, just drop your Venmo. You can start sending donations now.
Have you guys seen this recent thing of women leaving like their Cash App or their Venmo on their account?
Yes.
I've sent people money.
It's the way to do it.
Draws me in. Like I'm kind of like, they're kind of cute. I'll send them
a dollar.
Dollar too.
Listen,
$1, why not?
That is.
I'm about to put mine up.
I mean, you got to get their attention somehow. You got to. I mean, come on. I did not get a response though, so they must have been getting a lot of money.
They must have been. Good for them.
Good for them.
Honestly, good for them. I support it. I was telling someone the other day. This was actually on a date too, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like something along the lines of like, sometimes it feels like you're scamming men or something when you go on these dates." And I was like, I don't know, like. Is it really scamming men when men kind of want to be scammed?
Yes.
You know, like they do. Like you kind of go out, it gives you the sense of like power or importance to pay for things or to feel important and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, are you really scamming them or really are you helping them?
Right.
You know?
Are you providing them with exactly what they want?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all a kink at the end of the day.
I like that. That is so true. It is all a kink at the end of the day. It really is.
You really get down to it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm gonna journal about that one. I'm gonna write that down. It's gonna be part of my like little gratitudes. I'm gonna be like, I'm thankful for kinks.
Hell yeah.
They drive my life.
We're kink positive on this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well, maybe you guys just haven't heard of all the weird
horrific
kinks
ones.
that we're
Listen.
When people say they're kink positive, I'm like, you must not have heard of all kinks because I feel like you can't be positive about all of them. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm really like to each their own at this point. If you're not hurting someone non-consensually, live your life.
Yeah, I think every kink is a little like if it hasn't occurred to you before, whenever you hear about a kink, you're kind of like, there's a pause.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But I will say that most kinks I hear about, after that initial pause, and then I do a little tilt of the head.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well,
I could be walked like a dog. You know, it's kind of like,
Oh, that's so funny. That's so good. Yeah. Right. Who's to say?
I mean,
who's
each
to say?
truly their own.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I was told recently there's a dating app for this. It's called like Field, and you just put your kinks out there, and I mean I don't want to steal this story from this girl I went on a date with, but she's telling me about how she had matched with a man who she calls Carpet Man, and he just liked to be stepped on. And
Oh,
it wasn't in like naked women stepping on him. His photos were like, I don't know, him laying down in Washington Square Park and like people like, just standing on top of this man.
that's so
Um,
interesting.
to which I say, pause, tilt the head.
I get down to the
That
trauma.
doesn't seem.
I take into account all the trauma that it takes to get there. I'm like, okay, is this a physically domineering person in his life?
Right.
Is this a person who has always been in a position of power? Is this a person who feels guilty for their privilege? And like try to figure out why they get satisfaction
Mm.
from things like
Yes.
that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's always he's a white man. So
Right.
maybe
That'll do
There's
it.
that
already
is
a
like
problem.
some power thing. Maybe not.
Maybe.
I think back to like, Wolf of Wall Street when he gets the candle wax stripped on him.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another moment, pause,
Mm-hmm.
head tilt. Maybe so.
Maybe.
That I'm kind of like, I used to be very like, oh, I don't like any of that, yada yada. And then someone showed me a picture of a like this Japanese dominatrix. It was her friend. She was like, "Oh, my friend provides dominatrix services in New York City. This is Japanese dominatrix." And I was kind of like, "So there's no sex?" And she was like, "No, they just kind of like humiliate you."
Mm-hmm.
And I pause, tilt my head.
All right.
Maybe so,
Maybe. How
It's tough.
interesting.
It's tough to hide. I think it's tough to find banter in New York City. We're all talky
Yeah.
people. When I go to
Mm-hmm.
the strip club, they send over like the like women who are just like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And then they talk to me for 5 minutes and then they leave, and then they send over the chatters because they're like, "Oh, this guy, he's fucking
He wants to
talking."
talk.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they send over the chatters, and
That's
then I
so
just sit
sweet.
there, kind of talking. And so, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to have banter with somebody,
Right.
Well, even if they are like, whipping you or telling you. Oh, overall, I must say, talking, so, talking during sex is great. It's hot, but sometimes there's a lot of pressure, when you're with someone who's very, like bratty or something, and they're like, "Is that the best you can do?" And you're like, "I am seriously trying my best. I'm putting everything I've got into this. And why are you calling me out right now?"
Yeah.
Truly. Like,
Be encouraging.
what do you. Can you do better?
I don't know if that's better. Like, you're doing a great job. Hey, like, you're killing it.
Yeah, why
Two
not?
thumbs way up.
You need a little of it. I'm a Leo.
That's fair.
She
Yeah,
needs
that would
it.
really. No, I love that. I love that. Like, you're killing it. Hey, keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah.
That. But I'll never say never. Try. I had a friend who told me once. He was trisexual. He'll try anything twice.
I love it.
That's
Not
great. That's a
once,
way to
Saying
go
that
through
twice.
life.
but twice. Because the first
Yeah,
time,
Nice.
but
you never know. Second time,
there's
you
yeah.
know.
Same time, I kind of diverged into a lot of topics. I'm sorry. Maybe people don't want to hear about my two experiences in a strip club and these things, but they're out there.
I think we need those. I think we need
We
those in the
do.
world.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your new passion you found during COVID and what you're doing now.
Yeah, I used to be an actor, and I do say used to be because I no longer act, even though there were some like recent, very random things last year.
Oh,
But
mm-hmm.
I am an ex-actor, and now I am a software engineer.
Very
I
fun.
am at Amazon, so I'm just working over there for Daddy Bezos, really living it up, and
Living up. Do you code
living it up.
for
Yes,
them?
I
Yeah.
I code. I you know am in meetings. I have no idea how to operate in a corporate really like sense.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
and
what
so
none of us do.
I actually noticed today something I do is we have these daily meetings. We have these daily meetings. We call them stand-ups,
Mm-hmm.
where we're with our team and we just kind of update everyone. And today we kind of went into depth about something I was doing. And whenever I finished like saying something on, let's say, like the Zoom, I will remute myself and then I'll like do a cheer. So I'll be like, so today I was like, yeah, I really want to focus on that, and I think that's our next steps. So the work I'm doing will really move us in that direction. And then I muted myself, and I was like, yeah. And I do that after every. I mean, like if I unmute and mute like 3 times and say something of significance, I'll be like, yeah, because I like get really excited. I'm like, you killed that interaction. You hit the points. You bragged about yourself a little when your manager's there, and you gave next steps. So I'm always like, oh, you hit it on the head, because it's not about let everybody know. It's not about how hard you work. It's about how visible your work is.
Yeah, listen, isn't that the truth? Man, oh man.
That's what they always say. Lazy people make the best workers because they find the way to achieve something with the least amount of work, which I really believe in. Isn't that the whole point?
Absolutely. I think so.
Yeah. But that's my new venture. I've been doing it for a year and a half at this point. Amazon is my second job. I had another job for a little under a year. Yeah, I did like one of those coding boot camps for like 3 months. Then I got my first job like a couple weeks later, and here we are,
I didn't know you could go to a 3-month coding camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a no life type of situation.
Right.
But I like studied a lot before to find out if I really liked it. But yeah, my particular course I went to because it had a reputation for being difficult. Because I'm very like if I'm doing something, I'd like to be good at it, I guess.
Oh yeah, the best. Have to be.
I don't know if I need to be the best.
Oh, that's just me.
Yeah, that's just you. You have very high aspirations, and I aspire to be you.
I do.
But the whole coding thing and just working hard at it, I guess I just really enjoyed it or something. But it was 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, like 12 hours a day. But then you're obviously studying like 18 to 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I gained like 20 pounds. I literally went home to stay with my mom during that time. She cooked everything. She recently married a white man, so there was like butter and everything. I was like, This is the best and worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Right.
And yeah, I literally studied all day. I didn't do anything but study. Even on Sundays, I just studied all day. So
studied.
Wow. Yeah, go hard, and then maybe not as hard later, or keep going hard. I don't know.
Usually
who might I tell you?
Yeah. That's good. That's good to hear. I'm gonna have to look stuff up.
Yeah.
Because I am behind on coding because I didn't get to have a MySpace when I was younger. So I am so behind on coding. It's unbelievable.
It's not that. I mean, I think it's a very, I just read an article recently that said that there are studies that show that people who are creatively minded would actually make great coders and great software engineers, but they're turned off by the idea that this is a STEM field and that they are artistic.
Yeah.
And so there have been studies about this, like, oh, creatively minded people might be actually good at this. And, there's a lot of stigma against it too. I remember when I was like, I would comment on TikTok videos, I was getting like coding boot camp content. And I'd comment on these videos and be like, oh, I just finished my boot camp. I just got a job, all these things. And people would comment, they'd be like, you're not a real engineer. Like, you went to a boot camp, you don't have a degree. Like, you're not yada, yada. And I was like, look, you can call me a fucking clown. As long as you pay me like a software engineer, I don't care what you think I am.
Exactly.
And the truth is when you're in the industry at these highest levels, these people, first of all, the people at Amazon are insanely smart. It's not by luck that the products that Amazon and Amazon Web Services makes is really good. Like, people don't know that the cloud is this ephemeral thing, but that like Amazon owns the market share in the cloud infrastructure. So like if your favorite website goes down and then your 2 other favorite websites go down for like 30 minutes, it's because Amazon went down. So the products that Amazon builds are amazing because, there's a lot of reasons, but they hire some genius people. How do they hire genius people? They pay them well. It is what it is.
Right.
But
Yeah.
these people
That's
are
how it
really
works.
genius, and I don't know where any of them went to school. No one has
Exactly.
asked me
Right.
where I ever studied. Nothing. Everyone's only interested in the work at hand. Nobody
Yes.
is like, well, where'd you go to school? Do you know how to do this? No, it's not like that at all, at least on my team. And
Yeah.
Nice.
I found that to be very welcoming. And there's actually multiple people on my team who are self-taught or went to coding boot camps.
Nice.
And
Good.
I don't know, it's a really encouraging thing. And
Yeah.
so always pursue things. Never let the stigma of things keep you down, people.
There you go. That's what we needed to hear.
What a good thing to end us on here. Well, Kenny, we have reached the end of our time. All right. Any last words besides, you really just sort of gave a beautiful little bow there.
I don't know, do you need a soundbite from me?
I would love a soundbite.
Like, live from New York, it's Saturday night,
Just
something
like
that.
that. Yeah, that'd be great. Except for it's Friday morning when this drops. So
Plan accordingly.
Live. Not live. It's Friday morning.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Done. Signed, sealed, delivered.
That's what it is. No. Yeah, if you have something you want me to say, I'll say it. But other than that, I have really enjoyed talking to y'all. I really feel like I let a lot out, and I'll have to tell my therapist it's because I haven't seen him in a second. Because every time I really let loose, I'm like, maybe I should say more during therapy or something.
Oh yeah, I feel that. I understand that feeling for sure. You're like, oh wait, this is not the outlet that I was supposed to use, but I did get it out, so it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I really enjoyed being here and talking to you too.
Thanks for
Yes, we enjoyed having you. Thanks.
I'm sorry, what am I hearing right now? Is my TikTok still just like playing? I exited out of the screen and something is talking.
Let's talk TikTok,
Let's talk
everybody.
TikTok. Let's talk TikTok real quick.
Look at her, she's walking all over.
Get on TikTok,
Get on.
unless you're my family member, and follow
Absolutely.
me.
Hannah, you went...
And then follow Maddie.
Listen. Let's take it back a little bit. Hannah went viral this week.
Hannah did go
like,
viral.
beyond viral. Like, she has, I don't know, 2 million views on that TikTok.
Woof. And people are awful. Just as awful as you can imagine.
I mean, listen, yes, people are awful. Without question. But you gained, like, 200 followers from it.
Yeah, we're close. It's very interesting to see what happens. The almighty algorithm.
She's just got to do, like, a little bit more, and she's going to be able to go live.
What is it for live?
1,000. That's all.
Oh, fuck no. I'm nowhere near
You are
that.
almost at 700. You were literally at, like, 400 a week ago.
Yeah, but I think I'd have to go viral
Exactly,
again.
which isn't going to be fucking hard.
I'm going to exclude that. Anyway.
Listen.
Everybody follow Maddie because she's only getting Taylor Swift people to like her stuff.
They like it. They don't follow. They're haters. That's not true. They're very nice people. They care about it when I post about Taylor Swift, and that's truly it.
It's truly your niche.
I don't want to talk about it. I had a realization last night. I was like, man, if only you would post literally any of the skills you have on this app, you probably would have more
That's
followers.
What I'm saying.
I've never
saying.
posted a singing video or a dancing video or an acting video. What do you think this is? Work? Ugh.
I just think it's so funny. But like you said, I'm not doing it unless it's for money.
That's what I'm saying. Get me to 1,000 followers and I'll sing anything you want me to on TikTok.
You heard it here. Anything you want on TikTok.
I just killed my ex.
No, don't get it stuck in my head. I've had so many songs stuck in my head
What
this
has
morning.
been stuck in your head?
Well, they're gone now.
Good.
Now I can only hear I just killed my ex. Not the best idea. Oh,
As it should be. No, I have had. We were talking about this right before we got on. I have like little random blurts of Taylor Swift stuck in my head.
yeah. Oh, that's what it is. Like you said something and I quoted Taylor Swift and now that was stuck in my head for a
Tough.
little. Ugh, woof. Well, this was an outro.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone enjoyed the episode with
Yeah,
Kenny.
me too. It was a great episode. Great catching up with Kenny. As always, make sure you're engaging with everything. Always.
Engage, engage, engage.
Simply engage. Also, if you didn't get in on bi-weekly last week, our first edition, you have another chance because the second edition drops next week.
It sure does, and we have to write
Well,
it.
we'll get there.
Maybe we'll do that right after this call. Just take a peek at it.
Quick little peek-see. No, but make sure you sign up for
See
it
what's going
because
on.
I heard first is worst, second is the best.
That's so true because the first was tough, so the second better be better than the
We'd
first.
like to take a moment to thank Anthony Curlott, also known as Mr. C, for catching our, I think, the only typo / mistake on the newsletter, which was we put the wrong stream logo above the wrong stream information, but it's okay.
What are you gonna do? Fix it and move on.
As the great Hannah Montana once said, everybody makes mistakes. Do you have anything else to say? I just looked at the time and it said 5:55.
Oh, 555 where?
On the recording.
Oh, I thought you meant like time. I know how time change works. Not time change, time portals. Time zones.
Portals. I know how time portals work.
I know how those
Ma'am.
work. Ma'am. No, she's healthy.
Hannah did kickboxing and yoga this morning.
Yeah, she sure did. Who is she? Maddie probably did a full 2.5 hour
No,
workout
I
today.
haven't done shit because I had to clean my dog's ass.
Oh, I completely forgot that was moments ago.
But nonetheless, for those of you that don't know, Maeve pooped on herself this morning and then rubbed it into her fur going across the cement ground outside, so she got a bath.
Oh. And what did Ben have to do?
Just dig up in there and clean it out.
So sick.
Okay, it was a team effort, but it
Of course.
he did some dirty work, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? That's what men are supposed
That's
to
what
do.
I'm saying. You know, I did the laundry and dishes this morning. He cleaned the inside of my dog's anus.
Right. That is equality to me.
If there wasn't
Women's rights.
a wage gap, the conversation would be different.
Yeah. Right.
Poor baby. Anyway,
She's
anything
sick.
to say about your dog?
She's just a shithead. Just an absolute shithead.
Absolutely.
The separation anxiety is,
Tough.
for her, is tough. We're working on it.
She'll get there.
We'll see how Friday goes. The day this releases, my dog might have torn down 2 gates. We'll let you know next week.
Anyway, anything... Oh, the Super Bowl's this weekend. Best luck to all of those competing. We'll talk about Rihanna's halftime show next week, maybe. And join us for Sunday school before, because we're going to talk sports, I think, maybe. But probably just,
We have
food.
to. Oh, I like
see.
that.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate you. Engage, engage, engage. And you know what? Dad, we almost got through the whole episode, but shout out Brussels.
Shout out Brussels. We mean it. Listen, we're being so for real. We're being
Be fucking for real right
Be
now.
so fucking for real right now, Brussels. We're here. We're asking you to just step forward. Just say, hey, it's me.
That's all we want. They're going to stop listening from the harassment, but
I just really want them to give a fuck about us.
I do too. I do
I'm
too.
just trying to go to Belgium.
Right. We will do anything to see you. We'll come to your house if you want. Only if you want.
We'll come to your house.
We'll be there.
Perfect. Okay, well, are you all caught up?
Oh, I thought
No,
you
it's
ended
okay.
it. I literally thought you cut it there.
Are you all caught up?
I'm all caught
We'll
up.
see you next time.